Hello, hi everyone. Hi, how are you? And I believe that you're doing well. And I want to thank God for each one of you who will or who is watching this video. And I want to welcome you to a very warm welcome, warm evening. I know outside Kampala, or no, actually not outside Kampala, but around Kampala, the whole of today it's been quite a cold day. It's been rainy, and actually it's a cold evening. And but we nevertheless we thank God for the day that it was. Now the evening, and we are here. Welcome to this sharing. This is Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda, and welcome to our YouTube channel. And also I want to tell you that you still can actually subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can as well subscribe to our TikTok account, to our Twitter account, X account, formerly Twitter. And then you can as well follow us and like us on Facebook. We still go by the same name, Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda. Now, we do have many services, and we do focus into mental health related services or challenges, and we are located in Wakiso district, that is Gayaza, around Gayaza Road in Kasangati Town Council, in a community called Masori, where we chose this community basically because we think it's very pertinent and relevant to what we want to do, and it will give us a very good experience to unleash all these services throughout the country, and of more of the programs that we intend to do. Maybe to just take you through a little of the services that we do. We do focus in mental health, just like I've said, mental health related services. So talk of counseling, talk of rehabilitation, talk of maybe let's say someone is going through some hard time, difficult, or maybe struggles. Maybe it's a depression, it is anxiety, it is stress. Maybe it's a family challenge, maybe it's a relationship challenge, and maybe whatever it is. However, we have our keen attention that's on alcohol and drugs used in society in intersection with HIV, because we believe that these two really lead to unsafe sexual related behaviors, which in turn can lead to contracting HIV virus. Recently, there is a report that was released from Kore region, and basically the researchers focused on Bara district, and Bara as a district, they are telling us that girls between the ages of 15 to 27 or 29 found out to be having high HIV rate prevalence. Now, yesterday or but one, I was talking to someone and I was like, so what do you think? I mean, these girls or these women are not having or are not engaging in sexual behaviors or acts alone or as individuals. And that means it's a chain. It also involves men. So if we give data that really speaks about men, about women and girls, and we don't talk about men who these women or girls are engaging with in these sexual behaviors or acts, whatever it is, then we are doing ourselves a disservice. If we want to address this challenge, then we must also bring on board the issues to do with men. Now, part of this is recently in one of my TV programs, I said that if we have what we call the Vision 2030, what we are saying that as a country, as Uganda, we need to end we need to end the we need to end the to ensure that we've ended HIV new infections in Uganda, then we must not only focus on HIV strategies, but we must also incorporate mental health into the fight against HIV. Meaning that people who are involved in the fight against HIV should also come and join us in mental health. Now, for instance, I'll give you an example. When we talk about alcohol and drugs, now this is what we're talking about. For instance, there is no district in Uganda that has alcohol regulation policies. Now, what does this mean? It means that bars will open and operate at any time they want. What does this mean? It means that the manufacturers or the producers are not legal and they are not permitted to operate, and this exacerbates the kind of alcohol that is illegal in the country and its production. For instance, about 86% of the alcohol that is sold in Ugandan market is illegal. No one knows who is producing this kind or who is manufacturing this kind of alcohol. But we have a regulating body. But it does not do that. Part of the problem is that we do not have existing regulating policies. And this is why the Uganda Alcohol Policy Alliance and its members, whereby we are also members under the UAPA, that's what we're trying to say, that the government should should actually bring into this law, this bill into a law, should be amended, should be signed. And recently there has been a contention in the parliament where we presented this, and then they sent the bill to the president to sign on it. But then when we looked at what they were telling the president to sign on, it does not really bring out exactly what we're talking about and what we want. And so we cannot wait on the government to come and we cannot wait on the government to come and do something while the societies or families or individuals are cramming down. If you have, I've been telling people that it's not only the people who are drinking alcohol or using drugs who are only affected. No, even the caretakers are equally being affected. Look at the economy and the economic challenges today that we are having in the country. Now, when you look at the minimum fee you could pay in somewhat, I might say, an affordable rehabilitation center in Uganda per month is 2 million. And now 2 million, the minimum required time for someone to spend in a rehabilitation would be 3 months. And that means for 3 months at a rate of 2 million, be 6 millions. Now, if you have to inject 6 million into a loved one who cannot control themselves, it really becomes too tough. Sometimes we are talking of these things and with families who cannot afford paying a fee to have their loved ones rehabilitated in such rehabilitation centers, meaning that some of them will be left to die. That's for alcohol. Now for drugs, we are talking of issues whereby we cannot afford taking our loved ones to such modernized cares. The rest of that, these are the young people, young men, young women we see on Kampala roads every day running mad, throwing stones, doing all sorts of crazy things. And this too on drugs exacerbates the criminality rate in the society. And this does not only come to the people who are being affected, also, those who are using the drugs also, but the people who are being affected, they will even mobilize themselves into mob justice, and then they start beating these people, these young boys and men and women who are running up and down mad. And obviously, because if someone starts beating people or throwing stones at people, breaking people's windows, they will have to react. And you see, this makes that does not make sense. So we are saying that prevention is better than cure. Now, also pull your leg. We as a country, we have not prioritized mental health, and there is a very huge gap in mental health related services in Uganda. For instance, today Uganda injects at least 1% out of its entire GDP into mental health, and yet whenever there are issues that are arising, the country would tend to use about 9.98% out of its GDP to treat the related challenges or circumstances that will arise. Now, but then, if the country could invest at least $4 into the fight per person, per capita income, for $1, sorry, if the country could invest at least $1 per person from its per capita into the fight of mental health related challenges, it will save itself per person at least about $4. You see that? And now, this will take us to the fact that at least in Uganda, we only have one fully functioning and fully fledged mental health hospital, that is Butabika. That's the only hospital we know. Now, away from Butabika, these other referral hospitals and whatever, they just have a ward or a unit with at least 1.98% of beds per persons who would come presenting with signs of mental health related challenges. And now, when we go back to the specialized treatment of mental health related challenges in Uganda, we, at least me and you, we will agree that we still are very far when it comes to the fight against this. For instance, I will tell you that in Uganda we do not have enough psychiatric doctors. We have less than 90, less than 100, between 50 to something like 90, but we have less than 90, we have less than 100 of them, these doctors, specialized ones. And they are the ones that are populated with, they are distributed across Uganda. And then we have the population of at least 48 million population of Ugandans, you see? And then we have about 83% of Ugandans in rural areas, meaning that at least the remaining 17% of Ugandans are in urban settings, say Wakiso, Kampala, whatever. Now, these are the only ones out of the 48 million Ugandans. At least 17% are the ones who have easy access to Butabika. So, meaning that 83% of the rest of the population of Ugandans who are in rural settings have no access, whatsoever case be, to National Referral Hospital for such specialized services. So you can see, I won't take long giving you all these details. And even someone might talk about the psychiatric nurses. Yes, psychiatric nurses, but then what does that mean? Because if we say that we have less than 100 psychiatric specialized doctors in the country, it means each one of them is entitled, if we say they are like 50, maybe, it means that each one of them on a yearly basis, they are going to have to see patients, about 10 million of us, we Ugandans. I mean, because at one point in life, whether you understand this or not, whether you agree or not, at one time, all of us have faced these challenges, whether we may know or not know. And as we speak right now, about 15 to 15 million Ugandans are presenting with signs of mental health, depression, stress, anxiety, and whatever. That's about 33 to 34% of Ugandans out of the entire general population. And then when it comes to the psychiatric nurses, it means at least for them, they have to see on a basis at least 100,000. That's an overwhelming number. A reason why the Butabika National Referral Hospital is saying they are being overwhelmed. Today it is very hard for you to go there and secure a place for your loved one if anyway you want them admitted. And that's why they have started, monitoring services there, because they are being overwhelmed. And yet the government is underfunding the mental health related challenges. So as Crossroads Wellness Center Uganda, it is one of the things that has forced us to come with this program lately that we've introduced, and we call it Alcoholics Anonymous Support Program. Just as the name suggests, so as the name goes, that we are anonymous. Now, why do we say we are anonymous? First of all, I know that we have challenges. Sometimes there are people who admit that they want to quit, but they cannot quit on themselves or on their own. But then there are also these people who want who do not know whether they want to quit, and they have become dependents anyway. And then there are these people who totally, the other one, that group is confused, but then there is this group who totally have given their lives to drinking daily. They cannot do anything minus drinking. Now, whether you are that side or this side or in the middle, or in the between, as long as you're drinking, there's no way we can put it. Now, we asked ourselves a question. We have had people who have been in and out of rehabilitation centers. That's to say, moral psychologists. Now, I want you to get me very clear on that. I am not saying I am against moral psychologists, but I am wondering, now, what's the essence of this? If people are being put in rehabilitation centers, they are just in and out, 3 months inside, 3 months outside, 3 months inside, 3 months outside. What difference does it make? Do we have to keep like that? I mean, and then I asked myself a question together with these other people. Well, we have seen this working for us because I personally am a former addict. So when I am speaking, excuse me, so when I am speaking, I speak from a perspective that I have been there before, and I do understand very well what you people are going through. So what helped me? I was never rehabilitated. Now, what helped me? When I asked myself that question, and I know that someone else has been helped, not one, not two, not three, not four, I can mention as many as you want, then I'm like, we better introduce this. Now, we cannot keep thinking, these are the addictions are not necessarily a problem of mental control. This is why I'm going to have to disagree with moral psychologists. At some point, if you know that in your family background, in your lineage, your great-grandfather was a typical African drunkard, then your grandfather a typical drunkard, then your father a typical drunkard, it's not a surprise that, hey, my friend, you're drinking. I mean, it's not a surprise. Now, that becomes like a taproot. It keeps going deep. So, I mean, that's a spiritual problem. So I believe that if we come together as people who share the same background, and we share these problems, and then we go deep and look at the spiritual problem that someone has, it means we are admitting our inadequacy on our own, that we cannot quit. And now when we decide and realize that we are so vulnerable to quitting and we cannot quit on our own, then we invoke the power from on high. We say, God, we cannot quit on our own. I am stuck into this addiction. I am smoking, but I want to quit smoking, but on my own I can't quit. But I know you have the power to break the crutches of sin, whatsoever case be. You know what? I am drinking and I feel like I am done. My marriage is crumbling, my relationship, my work life, everything is being torn apart simply because I can't quit smoking, I can't quit betting, I can't quit drinking, whatsoever it is, any sort of addiction that you find yourself stuck in. I mean, so what can we do? Once we realize that, once we believe that, I want to tell you that there is some power that can help us quit. So when we thought about that, we thought about putting together the moral psychologies and appreciating the role of spiritual or faith-based, and it helped us. And when it helped us, we thought that we could share with someone. So if you are there and you are struggling and you would need to learn more about how we are doing this, kindly you should get in touch. And maybe I can also in this video put our WhatsApp number. You can get in touch using our WhatsApp number. You can as well call that number, but you can as well visit us on our different platforms or under this video, comment. But then we are on 02 02 00914432 02 00914432. You can share that WhatsApp number with your loved ones, and then you can get in touch with us, and we will tell you more details about what we do. Also, apart from that Alcoholics Anonymous program, we also have something else we've called breakup support group. Now that program is specifically for individuals who are having troubles processing the thoughts of breakup, the thoughts of failed relationships and engagements. I know how it hurts, how it feels, how it pains if you were being engaged, or maybe if you were preparing for that kuchara, for that introduction, you are used to hi babe, good morning babe, and then all of a sudden something happens and he leaves you, or she leaves you, or something happens and then you're no longer together, and then you are having this difficulty. Instead of you thinking about committing suicide, I want to tell you that you're not the only one who is going through this. A lot of, and this is something that I've come to realize. Most of the times, the number of many calls I get in every day or each day, they are about relationship struggles. A lot of youngers are being disappointed here and there. I don't know what's happening with young men nowadays, but I don't know, and we've made people to think that women are becoming heartless. No way, that's not what it is. Actually, they are telling us what they want and how they want to be treated. And once we do not listen to that, what's happening, it's what is, that's what is happening. But I want to tell you that you young ladies, young women out there, first of all, you're not in race with anyone, you're not in a competition with anyone, it's your life, you're not the only one who is struggling, and that's why I appeal to you to reach out for support, to join this group, to share with others, to hear from what others are talking about their breakups. It's never an easy period to navigate, by the way, and let no one, whenever you're going through such kind of a difficulty, whether it's a stress or anxiety or a breakup, let no one say swallow up the pain. I mean, bundle yourself up and get moving. That's a Uganda statement. No way, let no one. I mean, you cannot run away from the pains. That's I mean, if you are having pain, say it the way you're feeling it. If you're going through that pain, say it the way you're feeling it. That's the way it is. There's no way you can put it. You are struggling. Sometimes you have to wake up and then you can't find yourself. You know, your chest kind of gets misty. There is kind of that mental looming darkness in your mind. Sometimes you've developed the feelings of committing suicide, suicidal ideations. You don't find life anymore. There's no motivation. Sometimes you even want to quit work. You want to quit your socials. I mean, your friends, your connections. I mean, if you are there and you're feeling stuck, kindly, I request you also not to kind of feel like isolated and confine yourself and get pressed and have your back rubbed against the wall. You can reach out for support. If you are the one I'm talking to right now, kindly also you can reach out on the same WhatsApp number, that is 00914432, 0200914432. It's easier on WhatsApp. When you text us or send us a message, you can still as well call in, but in case you're having troubles going through, you just always send a WhatsApp message and we will respond as soon as possible. But you also can find us on our other social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and don't you forget to subscribe under this video. I thank you for watching, and thank you for your time, and keep watching and follow us on all our social media platforms for our daily inspiring messages. See you again, and don't you forget to share this video with anyone in your circles. You never know, maybe who could be helped by watching this. Thank you.